For at least the third time this year, a guest at an Airbnb has found a hidden camera in their rental's bedroom. Welcome back to What's Trending, I'm Martini Bierman. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories. Professional archivist Jason Scott tweeted a disturbing story about one of his colleagues' Airbnb experiences. He wrote in "Oh, that's a thing now" news, "A colleague of mine thought it odd that there was a single motion detector in his Airbnb in the bedroom, and voila, it's an IP camera connected to the web. He left at 3 a.m., reported, host is suspended, colleague got refund." A spokesperson for Airbnb told BuzzFeed News that this is incredibly rare, and the dude is banned from Airbnb for life. And for what it's worth, and very good reason, Airbnb is supposed to disclose any and all surveillance on their property, and they're not allowed to actually put any type of surveillance in a bedroom or a bathroom. I actually have my own weird voyeuristic Airbnb story. My friends and I stayed in Palm Springs for a weekend, and when we were in the master bedroom, we saw this weird contraption attached to the TV with a green light on it. Now, I'm no detective, but anytime I see a green light attached to a contraption, I think, well, hey, maybe I'm being videotaped. It was like a small rounded object that had a reflective piece on it and a light on the side. What could he possibly have been up to? We ended up throwing a hat on it and just called it a day. Despite the rule, that hasn't stopped hosts who are overly paranoid or just plain creepy trying to get around that rule. A few months ago, we told you about a couple who found a hidden camera disguised as a smoke detector in their Airbnb in Longboat Key, Florida. That home's owner, Wayne Nat, was arrested and charged with 1 count of video voyeurism. The Independent talked to expert Keith Roberts, who gave us some tips on what to look for if you're staying in an Airbnb and you think you might just be under surveillance. He says, with cameras, you should look for tiny holes, which is where the lens will be. Check common items, the back ends of books, mirrors, light bulbs, houseplants. Great! The first thing I want to do anytime I go on vacation is a 3-hour scavenger hunt to find out if I'm being videotaped. He also advises guests to turn all the lights off and shine a torch slowly in every inch of the room. Any camera lenses will reflect back the light. I do feel for people in that kind of situation though, because especially if you've set aside time to go on vacation and now you're in a situation where you don't know if you're being watched or not. Also, what are people doing with the footage? Is this guy just randomly sitting in a bunker somewhere just watching you creepily like the real world? Okay, so what if your Airbnb host isn't a creepy stalker? You can still encounter some weird situations. Justin Miller and his friends got an Airbnb in Nashville, Tennessee to celebrate his birthday, which is totally normal and awesome, and what they discovered was less than pleasant. Miller said, "It was really nasty. Bathrooms, toilet filled with fecal matter, condoms thrown in the home, food and drinks everywhere, sheets everywhere." Condoms thrown in the home? What does that even mean? Miller complained to the host, who told them the cleaning people showed up and it was so dirty that they had to go get more cleaning equipment, and when they left, they got in an accident and are now in hospital and no one else can clean it. Well, I'm sad for the cleaners, but that sounds like a mighty convenient story. Cleanliness at an Airbnb would probably be important to all guests, but no more important than to sex workers who are apparently, according to the BBC, using Airbnbs as pop-up brothels. Though prostitution is legal in the UK, it's against the law to operate a brothel, so members of parliament have launched an inquiry. All members of parliament who are not currently using Airbnbs for their own pleasure. Although I would be really livid if I knew that that was happening and I owned the Airbnb. Escort Charlotte Rose says that it shouldn't be a problem and she's just like any other guest who's somehow using the property to make money through sexual activity. Yep, that wasn't something my friends and I did on our vacation.
I always leave that property in the same cleanliness and manner that it was given to me in. And what's the difference between a male or female couple having sex or partying in their property?
She said that she's just trying to keep sex workers together and safe. Wouldn't you rather work in an Airbnb than a Best Western? Sure, if you're a prostitute. But if you own the Airbnb, I'm sure you'd wish that they were at a Best Western. When I sleep at an Airbnb, I like to cover my entire body up from head to toe with a hoodie and gloves and socks because I assume that countless people have had sex on that bed, and I do not take a black light to anything I go to. For more awesome stories, go to whatstrending.com.